What's up, guys? I can go anywhere. I can be anything. I can go anywhere. I can be anything.
Before the continue, insert coin. Back to split, legging hits to the groin. Live in Mortal Kombat vs. Shao Kahn. Resemble dad and mom just to face my fear. I had not to care to conquer life. Needed balls, bollocks, cojones to embrace aloneness. Hearing your life's less made my decisions lifeless, but I digress. You 90s rulers of life a mess by your behest. We do all what you say for a quest. Intention the best creates intended tension. Thinking there's secrets in the Snowden. Mad after facts out and about, so we spout hate to what we create. An endless cycle. The fate we articulate, capitulate. Forward checkmate on a checkerboard. Rise on a ripcord to see pots, pans. Looking up for fellow follow fans who sing praise and worship under all. But we can't have that unwanted subscription. We only subscribe to accomplish aspirations for those we say.
I can go anywhere. What's up, guys? It's Nikki Lachey, and you are listening to Beyond Borders with Rose Gold and Kid Gravity.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely those of the host, Beyond Borders Media. And trust me, if you hear something you didn't like, go do your research.
I'm back. Hey, y'all, Kid Gravity. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening to. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all saw the title. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about it, folks, because I'm getting a lot of pushback for this subject. So I figured I got StreamYard's interface. I got DuckDuckGo. I've got evidence to the contrary. Why not do a quick show and explain what that title means? Because I swear to God, I think people still don't understand what I'm trying to convey. What quick perfunctory. So it's been 2 weeks since I've been in Atlanta, and Atlanta's been nothing short of my expectations. You know, I still can't find good barbecue around here. But I did discover Zaxby's, Zaxby''S. Next to Chick-fil-A, that's like God's chicken. I don't know. I figured out what they put in the spice mix, but I ain't fixing to tell you because I want to be their spokesperson. If I tell the world, they're not going to let me be their spokesperson. So if you know someone at Zaxby's, tweet this to them or put it on their Instagram, let them know. So if you guys live in Atlanta and know any good barbecue joints that I could try out, leave it down in the description box. Sorry, in the comment box. Can't put anything in the description. Sorry, I'm sucking on a pause. I'm sucking on a Starburst pause right now. Sorry, just can't get that New York out of me. But let's begin the show. So you saw the title. The uprising has begun. And then you see the 3 hashtags. AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander. New term they coined. Got to put over the Asians because, Trump ran around saying China virus and all that. And people were saying he was demonizing Asian. Which, that's your opinion. If you think that, bless you. If you didn't, bless you. To me, that's neither fish nor fowl. But, in this day and age where everybody's soft, everybody want to run around and get upset over stuff. But I want y'all to look at this right quick. Before we get into the show, because I don't want y'all to tell me that I made this up. So you see that, right? That's the whitehouse.gov homepage. Now, this was floating around about, I'm going to say, at least a year. When you went to joebiden.com, you could either type that in or you could type in Antifa.com. And it leads you right to joebiden.com. So we're going to do this. Antifa.com. There you go. See me have that right there. So they didn't even bother changing it. So either they got a hack and it just followed them, or they just don't care. But I swear to you, you can try this on your phone. It says Antifa.com. But let's get into the show. So we all know Joe Biden has been president for about almost a month now. It'll be a month on Friday. Ironically, that is Lincoln's birthday, I think. Or is Lincoln's? No, I think that's Washington's birthday. And it's just funny that I'm looking over in Georgia and I see the abundance of Biden-Harris signs. I'm like, okay, whatever. They supported. Bless them. But then you see articles like this. Even TMZ reported this. Black voters help Biden get elected. This is proof Biden's win reveals power of black votes. Sorry, y'all can't see the screen. My bad. And that's my heater. So I'm going to try to figure something out with that, because that's going to be annoying. But yeah, let's share this screen. Again, I use the DuckDuckGo. I don't use all that other stupid things like Google and all that, because they like to suppress. So I don't know if you can. Oh, great. Sorry, folks. They don't want this info out, folks. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. They spiked me. They're trying to flag it. Okay, let's get into the show. Yeah, let's get back into the show. So we're going to share this screen again. I'm sorry about that again. I don't know what the hell happened. So here we are. We are at, I was talking about this. TMZ and Washington Post, Boston Globe, ABC, AP News, all talking about how black voters helped get Biden over in Georgia. And I sat there and I was watching these exit polls and I was like, there's no, even if you rallied everybody black in Georgia, that's still tough. I feel like the black and the white vote in Georgia wash. And most people know when there's an election going on, you do not appeal to the established bases. We know this. People who study politics, you always have to go after the fringe vote. So Obama's fringe vote was the white, we'll say I'm trying to word this right. His fringe vote was, unfortunately, the black conservatives, because they went on identity politics. They got caught. We have to admit this. The black conservative vote, a lot of people don't want to admit that's a big reason why Obama got it, because they played the identity politics game. Second time, 2012, he got the LGBT vote. Now, here we are. 2016 comes around, and in 2016, Donald Trump gets elected. Why? Not only did he get 15% of the black male vote, he appealed to the non-college educated white man. Fringe vote. We can't really say the white woman was the fringe vote, because most times white women will vote the way their husbands vote. But it still was a high number because of what Trump said on Locker Room Talk way back in the day, before he was even thinking about running for president. So here we are, 2020. Everybody running around talking about, oh, Biden got in because of black people. I mean, black people historically vote Democrat. But what they don't tell you is he got less than 90% of the vote, which was, I think they said he had the lowest total within the last 28 years. Lowest Democratic vote percentage. He was around 82%. So, because I think Obama had 98 the first time. I think Clinton had about, not Hillary, Bill. I think he got about 92. Hillary, I think, got 80. Was it 89? I think it was 89 or something. Yeah, Biden got like 82. So they should tell you something. Well, what was the point of this show? The show's point is, I keep telling y'all, and I said this on Clubhouse, Kid Gravity. That's where I'm at on Clubhouse. Brother that does this room, Tony Maceo. I brought this up about 3 times and he rebuffed it respectfully. I brought up the fact that it was the Asian vote that got Biden over. And a lot of people don't want, they said I was crazy for saying that. They're thinking more of the Latino vote. I was like, Latinos are mostly conservatives, and he didn't really score well in Georgia with the Latino vote. I mean, he did amongst the liberals, but the conservatives, I mean, And mostly the conservatives went for Trump anyway. You go look at the numbers across the spectrum. Trump actually raised his Latino vote tally. But I say that to say this. Again, I brought up Asian contingent within Georgia. They're coming. I even said this. Again, in his room, it was a tough sell. They still haven't looked at it. But again, like I said before, the fringe vote is usually what people go for in elections, because they're trying to get those last small enclave of voters that nobody's referring to. And we all know, if you do your history, Asians do really, really poorly in coming out for elections. They mostly want to keep all their problems within their neighborhoods. They don't like voting for national elections. So we have now, as I said, a month in, and nobody's reporting this. Maybe it's a get back because, again, Trump said China virus and all that. But something interesting came across when I was doing some research for this. So I want y'all to see this. This is Joe Biden's website. I was guessing he was probably using this during the campaign trail. I'm hoping and waiting for it to load up. I just want y'all to see this. Let's page down a little bit. Asian American. Oh, it's funny that a Trump thing came on. That's hilarious. I don't know what that said. It went off too quick. Yeah, see, they want you to give money. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll give them $0, but I'm sure if I do that, my bank will flag my card. It says AAPIs for Joe Biden. I'm not even gonna read all that. You know, there's not even a black version of this. I tried looking for it. I didn't see it, but if you find it, put it in the comments below. So there was that. And then you saw the thumbnail I put up. Joe and Jill went up the Great Hill, met President Xi. But then you go to DuckDuckGo, ladies and gentlemen, and you look up what we have here. Now, when you saw the first picture, it had the same, record turnout for blacks. That's why Biden got in, because of black women. Do y'all understand, folks, that 3 days after the election, when the exit polls came out, they did not want to say that it was the Asian community that put over Biden. They didn't want to admit it. It went under the table. I saw it on a humbug. So that was what, November 10th? No, when was the election? November 7th, right? So the 10th. It was 3 days. Look at this. Asian Americans helped Biden win Georgia, from the Washington Post. Now remember, Washington Post also did an article saying that was the black vote, especially black women, that got Biden in office. But Washington Post puts this up on the 28th. Now, the NBC News article I saw was November 10th. That's what made me perk up. Here we go. MSN. Georgia saw a 91% increase in AAPI voter turnout over 2016. From Target Smart. Asian Americans credited for helping Joe Biden turn Georgia. That was in December, folks. Asian American and Pacific Islanders are the fastest growing demographic in Georgia, NPR reports. Nikkei picked this up. They're talking about the runoffs. Asian American and Pacific Islander turnout helped hand Georgia to Biden. What does it say, folks? President-elect Joe Biden carried Georgia with less than a 13,000 vote lead, a tiny margin made possible in part by historic turnout among Asian American and Pacific Islanders in the Peach State. Look at the next one. Georgia alone, a record 91% increase from 2016 Asian American Pacific Islander voter turnout contributed to Biden's win. This will see what is what I said amongst liberals. And let's show surge in Asian Hispanic voters helped Biden get Georgia. Democrats bank on Asian American voters for Georgia win. Look at the date on this one from the Times. 18 days after the election, a new political force emerges in Georgia, Asian American and Pacific Islanders. Look at there it is, folks. Bloomberg even reported before the election, Asian Americans could decide the presidency. Newsmax picked it up. So now you have a somewhat center left, even though they're starting to move more to the left in Bloomberg, and Newsmax was right. They both called it. Now I don't know when. They're talking about the runoff on Newsmax, but I mean, come on. But y'all see the point. And then, as a give back to say thank you, Biden puts out the executive order for Asian American discrimination. But Black folks were running around talking about how we helped Biden get in, we helped get Trump out. Where is your resolution? And we've been suffering the most racism in this country. Where is it? Funny how that works. But they hate y'all so, but they love us so much, right? Yeah, you right. They go Mahita again. God, dog. Anyway, they love us so much, right? Look at this. Well, I stopped the screen. Just so y'all tell me that I'm crazy. Now, the National Review is going after Biden, saying that he's not doing anything. But the fact that he had it on the books and he signed it, I mean, come on, dog. Oh, no. Here it is. WhiteHouse.gov, aka Antifa.com. Memorandum condemning and combating racism, xenophobia, and intolerance against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders in the United States. Doesn't even say nothing about Black people. I'm talking about. He could have even been nice enough and just said, hey, minorities. He could have said minorities and people of color. Oh, see, I told y'all Black folk, they only say we're people of color and BIPOC to hide us. But then when they want to talk about everybody else, then they separate. It's funny how that works. But y'all right. Y'all's president. Y'all got the guy. I'm not even going to read all this crap. But condemning racism, they get a whole section. Executive departments and agencies. So taxpayer money that we don't have because they just like to keep printing out stimulus checks and do impeachments. But they get a resolution, an executive order, which means it has to be carried out. So the Chinatowns that were suffering are not going to suffer by the time the summer comes around, which I predict that's when they're going to decide to open the economy up. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I say about May because remember, Trump was the same one that said in May of last year, get the economy open. Well, I think he even said it in April and they got mad at him, saying he was being irresponsible. So don't be surprised after 100 days, Biden wakes up and says, you know what? Let's open the economy for the summer. We need people to have a great summer because they got to miss out on COVID in 2020 and 2021. We need this. We need Americans to be on Ferris wheels and roller coasters safely and enjoying life. I don't have the camera on, but I had a skeptical face on. Ooh, here it is. The functions of the Director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, or legislative proposals. Can anyone say Chinatown stimulus packages? This memorandum shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriation. Folk, do you understand what this means? Now, this is, technical government jargon, but the way I'm reading this, you screw with an Asian person, they could have laws on the books that say they could sue your whole family, and they'll probably win. So you guys that like to go run around in these Chinese food shops and make fun of the employees ordering in their native tongue so they can understand each other, you could get sued. You go into these nail salons and hair shops and run around talking about, oh, he's disrespecting me. You go swing on them and they swing back on you. You can't sue them. They can sue you. I keep telling y'all, man, black folks, y'all need to wake up, because the decisions you're making out here is affecting everybody. And I don't understand why we still haven't figured this out as a collective. I get it. You didn't like Trump. I get it. It took me a while to warm up to him, because I thought he was just bloviating all day. But you can't knock the stuff that he did for minorities, especially black folks. You can't knock it. Do you know how many black people got into the middle class because of that man? How many people sat up there and they were talking about stocks all of a sudden on a grand scale like this? And for black people, and again, for black people to try to tell me, because I also mentioned this on Clubhouse and Instagram, that we've seen a surge in stock talk and buying real estate and all this. We didn't hear this during Obama. We heard this under Trump. And I was on Facebook. Nobody was talking about real estate like that. They were saying that was a white man's game. They were manipulating the markets, all this. Nobody was talking about, now all of a sudden Trump getting things open up. Everybody's talking about buying up land and buying stocks now. We don't want to give him credit. I'm not saying get that white man credit, because he's just free and white. Shout out to that lady on the Jesse Lee Peterson show that said that. But I'm looking at this executive order, one of the 43, I think it was, final tally, that Biden signed his first week in office. And we're sitting there, where's the one for black people? I'm back on the DuckDuckGo. Look at this. Biden to address racism towards Asian Americans. Will Biden change course on China and trade? He's doing everything for the Asians, but he's not doing anything for black folks. But black folks understood this and didn't look at it. Funny how that works. But before I go, I want to show you one last thing. Something in DuckDuckGo. When you see it, I want y'all to tell me. I'm sure somebody's gonna tell me in the comment section that that was a smart play on her, because I even said that was a smart play of what she did. Y'all, Stacey Abrams loves black people so much, right? Y'all know who Stacey Abrams is. She lost the Georgia gubernatorial race back in 2018. She alleged fraud. Funny how that word came out of her mouth. And, she was credited with mobilizing Georgia, the black vote, to get Biden in office. No credit to her for that and her new Georgia project, who, by the way, they're being sued. And sorry, under investigation. Yeah. Funny thing, as I was doing my research on this as well, look what NBC News put up. How Stacey Abrams has been mobilizing Asian Americans for years. Abrams has long been unrecognized for engaging with the Asian American electorate, targeting them when many politicians continue to treat them as virtually invisible, experts say. Again, like I said, the Asian American community does not go out and vote in national elections. They usually keep their politics within their neighborhood. So this was a smart play on her part. I'm not going to knock her for this. Because again, when you win an election, you got to go after a fringe vote. Your fringe vote is your linchpin. And of course, they used an Asian person to write this article. So that was smart. Not like what the news does when they want to report some stupid stuff with black people. They put the black reporter to do it. Y'all not slick. But okay, this was written January 15th, so it was 5 days before those two idiots got in. So it says, with the Democrats' newfound control of the Senate, many have been praising former Georgia House Minority Leader Stacey Abrams for her critical work on voter mobilization, including those in the Asian American community, a group that's historically been neglected by political campaigns. I'm not going to read all through this, but it did say, I believe it was in this article or another one, that she's been talking to the Koreans and the Vietnamese for the past decade. Like, she's been going on their radio programs, mobilizing their vote. Because there's been a surge in Asian American and Pacific Islander population in Georgia. That coincides with the boom in the Georgia population and the money that's flowing through here. So again, show this to your friends. Tell them that, hey, y'all Stacey Abrams love black people so much, but she's more in tune with the Asian community, which she's probably going to use if she decides to run again next year for governorship, because she's going to need that vote. And don't be surprised if she wins. You see a bunch of Asian people in her cabinet over here in Atlanta. I told y'all, I made the joke on Clubhouse and the IG. I said, don't be surprised if within 10 years, Atlanta, this black city, has an Asian mayor. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Keisha Lance goes up, you see an Asian person challenging the throne. Don't be surprised. Because south of Georgia, I think it's in Riverdale, there's a thriving Asian community over there. And from what I read, they weren't affected that much by the pandemic because they keep their money within their community. So they had contingency plans. So I say that to say this, folks. You've been given a golden opportunity for the next, I want to say 8.5. You have the next 20.5 months to do research on these candidates coming up. 469 seats in the House and the Senate coming up next year, including seats in Georgia. You're going to have many governors going up next year. You're going to have a lot of mayors going up next year. Black people, you want some change? You need to get these right leaders in. You need black moderates in there. You need black liberals that have their head on straight, that won't have the hard conversations and get out of their feelings. You need to get the black conservatives in there. Black folks, you need to go kiss the black conservatives' asses again. The way y'all shitted on them during that election cycle that just passed, it was disgraceful. And I told y'all, they're not even talking about you anymore. They're not even talking about us anymore. They could give a damn. Don't believe me? Go look at Anthony Brian Logan. Go look at his last 20 videos and tell me how many times he mentioned black people. Go ahead. Go look at Larry Elder. He switched his stuff from talking about how black people can get affected with Joe Biden presidency. Now he's doing fan mail. Now all of a sudden Ice Cube's talking about, oh, I'm going to go meet with Biden. But he has defund the police in there. Maybe somebody should show him how that helped in Minnesota. Chicago. I'm going to say this to you before I leave. Chicago, you're the key to this. You know, you're like, what the hell is Gravity talking about? Illinois is historically blue. We know this. It's like New York. Chicago is the third largest city in the country. Historically, it's always had Democratic mayors. I said this on Clubhouse. I got laughed at by people in the room. I said, for Chicago to change, you need a Republican mayor. And people that were in the room, they're from Chicago, and they said, you'll never see that. If Chicago could elect a Republican mayor, I think that could turn the country around. The last Republican mayor New York City had was Rudy Giuliani. Don't give me Bloomberg. Bloomberg is a Democrat. He just ran as a Republican because he knew he could use Giuliani to put himself over. Because even when he got in office, I think it was his second term, he became an independent. Trump's really a Democrat, but he ran on a Republican ticket because he knew he could win. Chicago needs to go red in terms of who's leading that city. LA's in trouble. Atlanta can be in trouble if they don't watch it. Now, by and large, this city has been open for 7 months now. Not fully, but 50% dining, people still going to work. I mean, I'm sure they're probably working from home. But by and large, the city is rocking. It's not like New York City. They just opened up indoor dining 25% last night. But New York is dead. And if Atlanta's not careful, it could go that route. And the Asian community can have a strong foothold in the South. They already have it on the West Coast, and they're getting it in the Northeast. I'm not sure about Middle America right now. I think that's still predominantly white. And I'm not sure about the Mid-Atlantic states. But Black folks, we need to wake up. We basically have no more political power. And without that, we're not going to get anything done. We wasted that vote last month. For the last 3 months, we wasted our vote. We did. We elected people that are not going to do anything for us just because they have a D behind their name. 2022 is our time to get stuff redone and get the correct leaders that'll actually go up there and press these people to get what we need. But if you guys don't want that, just say it now so we can do a soft reset. But that's all I gotta say. So again, don't take my words on nothing I told you. Go on DuckDuckGo, put in Asians, Joe Biden, Georgia, and you can read it for yourself. And you can make your own determinations. But that's all I got for you today. Just wanted to do a quick show. So take care, stay safe, wear your mask to get your supplies. Peace.
I can go anywhere, for I can be anything. I can go anywhere, for I can be anything.
Before the continue, insert coin. Back to split, legging hits to the groin. Live in Mortal Kombat vs. Shao Kahn. Resemble dad and mom just to face my fear. I had not to care to conquer life. Needed balls, bollocks, cojones to embrace aloneness. Hearing your life's less made my decisions lifeless, but I digress. You 90s rulers of life a mess by your behest. We do all what you say for a quest. Intention the best creates intended tension. Thinking there's secrets in the Snowden. Mad after facts out and about, so we spout hate to what we create. An endless cycle. The fate we articulate, capitulate. Forward checkmate on a checkerboard. Rise on a ripcord to see pots, pans. Looking up for fellow follow fans who sing praise and worship under all. But we can't have that unwanted subscription. We only subscribe